This week, we got to do something that I absolutely and positively, without a doubt, hate doing. And no, it's not drum brakes. We got to wire this old car up. I ain't looking forward to it, but it's got to be done. So let's get busy. No, sir, we are not working on drum brakes. Reason this wheel is off is this is that wheel simulator I was telling you about. Trying to decide what size wheel I can go with. I got it set for 18 inch, 8 inches wide with a plus 10 offset, I think it was. That seems to be able to work, but I really need the tire simulator. It'll be way on up in here. Tell you what size tire you can go with. I got one of them coming. It should be here tomorrow. So when it gets here, we'll put it on there and we'll see what size tire we can run, and then we'll go to a rim, see what we can run there. That's not what we're doing today, though. All this wiring right here, it's got to be put in this car. I've been reading the instructions. I'm about a third of the way through. It divides it into sections. You got the front section, dash, steering, and rear. It tells you, of course, where all the wires go. Let me finish reading the instructions, and then I really don't know how to video this because this is extremely boring. I mean, I'm probably going to spend most of the time wiring it up and then say, here it is. I will keep y'all updated along the way, but let me get over here and finish these instructions, and then we'll see what we can do. Well, I got an issue with this here book and the print right off the bat. They don't believe in labeling stuff, and the way they got what they got labeled is just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. No, it could be. I'm assuming this is a fuse panel. It is not labeled fuse panel, but one would deduce that's what it is. We got head, which would be headlight, coming over to what I'm assuming is a dimmer switch, but it's not labeled. Then it breaks off into two different wires. LH beam, left high beam, low high beam, ain't got a clue. And then the other one is LR beam. Is that left right beam? Is that low right beam? Is that low rear beam? Left rear? I ain't got a clue. The only way you know is to come over here. LH beam is green. Let's come over here, see what we got. LH is light green, and it runs up here to both headlights. So I'm assuming L means light high beam, and then LL runs up here to both headlights. I'm assuming that's light low beam. Now, why would they label it like that? L, light. That's just dumb. It's like that through the whole book. So it's going to be interesting. There's a reason why I'm not going to video much of this, because like I've told y'all before, I like to keep this a family channel. And, well, I'm liable to lose my religion a few times wiring this car up, I mean. Let me read through this a little more, and then we'll get over and start wiring things up. Well, here's my second issue with this pile of garbage wiring harness right here. Y'all look right here. Headlight power equals red/black. Now, normally, red/black means a red wire with a black stripe or black dotted line, black something to identify it. I've looked at every red wire in this harness. There's none with a black stripe, black dotted line, black anything. Come up here to gauge power. Red/white. I've looked at every red wire on here. There's no red wire with the white slash, white line, white anything. I've looked at every wire in this harness. None of them have any kind of, they're all solid color. There's no dash, no stripe, nothing. I've never in my life seen anything like this. What I'm going to have to do is just come to the back of the fuse panel. You'll see, like if I want to wire up dome light, I got to come here, find what wire color it is, and then find the end of it out here and label it. It's probably going to take me 2 or 3 days to do this, because this is a joke. It's exactly. I've told y'all about MLS before. Here it is, prime example. This pile of garbage right here. I'll see y'all in a day or two. All right, I've calmed down a little bit. I got to looking real close at the wires. and they are not striped. They are labeled. Y'all probably can't see that. It's so small and so light. That one says oil sending. That's oil pressure gauge, which I don't need it. This will probably be the most frustrated and mad that y'all will see me doing this right here. One, because I already don't like wiring. Two, this harness and this is just, it's garbage. Well, here's another thing right here. The way this book talks, you know, they're supposed to be broken off into sections. Well, there are some things in this, you know, see it's taped right there. There's some things in this bundle of wire that are on the front section. Some of them are on the dash section. It's just, well, I'm going to continue on, and I'll keep updating you as I go. Just a quick update. Remember how over here, where was that? Coming out of the headlight switch, it said LH, and then over here it said LH and LL. The LL means left low beam. Then it splits right here. They don't tell you that in the instructions. It splits, and then one of these says right low beam. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, that right there. Y'all can't see it because it's so small, but it says right low beam. So that's what that means. I've got approximately 4 wires. This is the front section, and then these are going to be going under the dash. I got 6 wires done. You see how many more I got to sort out. I'll be back in a little while. Well, 40 years later, I've got this sorted out. This bundle here, that's for the motor stuff. This here is front lights. All that up there is either dash or ignition switch or stuff that goes inside the car, the control part of everything. And this right here, that's for the rear lights and whatnot, and fuel sending unit and all that. And then this here's ignition stuff. We'll have to cut all that off. And then this here is extra power stuff like, I don't know, I done forgot now. Cigarette lighter and power windows, power locks. They're running to the fuse box. I don't want to cut the wires. We'll just hang them up out of the way. You never know when you need a fused power something. And if I need it, there it is right there. These are the wires that I pulled out of the harness. I don't need, like power antenna, third brake light, electric fuel pump, and the electric temp sender and oil sender. I don't need them, so we just pulled them out. Now that I got this done, I need a break, because this, I'm telling you, my brain, my head, my ears, I got smoke coming out of them. I'm going to take a break for a little bit, but let me show you this. This box right here, guess what's in it? What do you call them? These things right here, running boards. Yep, that's what they are. We'll put them on sometime this week. I probably need to paint them or something, primer them, I don't know. I'm going to pull them out of the box, and I'm going to take me a little break. And I guess when I come back, we'll start stringing these wires all through this car. Fun, fun, fun. 'Tis the next day. Yes, sir, it sure is. Doing this over here, I'm telling you, y'all don't understand how small this print is and how light colored. You can't barely see it. That burnt my eyes. Yes, sir. Even with reading glasses, y'all don't understand how bad my eyes are. I got eyeglasses last year. They don't help. Reading glasses are better, but still, they ain't all that great. It hurt my eyes. I couldn't see hardly nothing as far as reading stuff after I got done with that, so I just quit. Today, though, we're going to get that harness in this car, and hopefully we can get it wired up. I think we can. Let me show you my running boards firstly. They're kind of rough. I mean, I didn't know you use textured metal for body parts, but they're a little bit rough. Yep, sure are. And this up here, that's visible. I'll show you in a little while how it goes on the fender. I ain't too pleased with the quality as far as the welding and stuff. No, sir. And the metal is just, I don't know. I've never seen a body part with textured metal. Maybe running boards are supposed to be. I don't know. But hopefully we'll get them put on sometime this week. Right now, though, I think we'll start off mounting the fuse panel. I really don't like working under a dash. It's just, well, it's a pain, literally. I think about the only place I really got to mount this is approximately right in this area here. Let me go out there and make sure that's not going to be in the way of anything as far as bolts. And then if it ain't, then we got to drill a couple of holes. I do believe it'll work. I ain't sure I can get my drill up in there though. Let me see. Actually, I guess I need to mark a hole first. If I can find my punch. Where did my punch go? Well, I had it just a minute ago. Here it is. I found it. All right. Let's get this up here. See if I can get a hole made approximately right here. Where's my hammer? Be still now. This is hurting me. What about right there? Did I make a mark? Oh, if I did, I can't find it. Let's do that again. Where did the punch go this time? This is really hurting me. I'm gonna scratch and mark. Maybe that'll help me out. Yeah. All right, let me get a hole drilled. Approximately right there. Now, let me run a bolt through there and put a magnet on it. Maybe it'll stay in place. All right, let me see if I can get this here over that there bolt. Nope. All right, there we go right there. Here's a nut. All right, let me mark this second hole. Good chair, approximately there, and with a comma. I don't see it. I don't understand what's going on with this stupid punch. It's not leaving me a hole mark. All right, let me see if I can't get me a mark right here somewhere. If I drill anywhere on that line, it ought to be good. That's about as good as I can get it. What I'm doing now is I'm routing the front lights and all the engine wiring over my brake pedal assembly holder thingamabob, and then run it through the firewall. Just like that right there. I'm not pulling the wires tight either. I'm leaving some slack. Because you never know. I'm going to leave approximately about that much right there. Now let me run this through the firewall. I'm going to try to go through this small hole here. I don't think they're going to fit though. We'll see here in just a moment. By George, I think they're going to go. Let me go out there and pull them through. Y'all watch, make sure they don't get tangled up. Well, I told y'all to watch. You let it get tangled up. Come on now. Y'all can do better than that. Oh, I see what happened. I got two ends of wires right here. Let me see if I can't get them to go on through. I don't think it's going to go through. So let me pull them back out. I'll go through this top hole like I did the other. I was hoping to hide some of the wires down here low, but I don't reckon I'll be able to. So we'll put them up here with the rest of them. Well, what have I got going on right here? This is just a mess. All right, let me see if I can't go out there. Pull them the rest of the way through. Probably not. Wait a minute, wait a minute. This in here, it's gotten left out some kind of way. All right, let me go out there. Y'all don't let this get tangled up like you did last time. All right, I got to run through the firewall. This bundle here is for all the front lights. They give you plenty of wire. That's good. These ones here is for the engine management stuff. I think what I'm going to do is for the lights anyway. I'm going to probably drop it down like right here. And there's holes. There's 3 holes. I'm going to use pop-in wire ties. And then there's a hole right here. I'm going to go through it to start running the headlight here. And then I think I was going to drill a hole here, but I think we'll just run it right through here. I think there's a little wire holder there. I think it's where they used to come through. Come through there, run across this bar, come back out here, and then go in this hole right here for these other lights. I think it'll work. As far as the motor wiring, probably just going to drop down here, run under the master cylinders. And then over here, this is the hole I was wanting to get the motor wiring through, but it's a wee bit too small. I tell you what, I might take a big drill bit, see if we can't drill it out. It's got rubbery stuff in the middle, and if I can get that bigger, that may be the hole I come out. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just talking right now. Now let me show you the rear lights. They originally come, I'm assuming, right up in here. Then they go up here, and see, here they are right here. They run all the way back there, and then they drop down there, and there's some of them right there. So that's the way I'm planning on running the new ones. Let me find them under here and tie my new wires to them, and we'll just pull them on through. I gotta get these rear wires over my brake pedal assembly firstly. We got to tie with these 2 wires right here and pull them up through this here. Is that the A pillar? Is that what you call that? All right, let me see if I can get these pulled through here. Alright, got that done. Now let me route them on back here and we'll just throw them in the trunk for now. Oh yeah! This white wire is for the dome light. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out of the harness and we'll run it over here, tie it up, get it out of the way. Alright, now let me run the rest of these on back here. I got these handy little clips to hold them. I may use them. Oh yeah, they work just fine in Italy. It's even got some little wire clips for the dome light. Well, ain't that just special? All wires are routed through the firewall. I don't have any grommets, and nobody in town has any. This is a 1-inch hole. Nobody has one. And then, I was going to route them through this hole here to go to the headlight turn signal. Same thing over here. Those are 3/4 inch. Nobody has any of them in stock. The pop-in wire ties I was talking about putting here, nobody has them in stock. Nobody has anything ever. You have to order everything online nowadays. Got them coming from Amazon. They'll be here tomorrow. But it ain't gonna keep us from wiring. I'm getting ahead of myself though. I need to go ahead and mount these. I got some carriage bolts to replace the broken ones. Let's get those mounted. And my turn signal, it mounts with this piece right here. It'll go like that. And then this screws to that piece, and it's actually supposed to be riveted too. So we might have to weld that, but I'm missing one of these. So I've got to make this contraption here for the other side. So let me get these mounted, get this made, get them mounted, and then maybe we can start wiring up the lights up here in the front. I'm just going to trace this one out and cut it just like this right here. My disc broke on me. That's why you run a guard, fellas. Got my little mounting bracket made. There's the original, there's mine. Close enough. I ain't got no way to put a square hole, so we'll just have to use a regular old bolt in it. But this point and this point is the most important to get the light position right. I think we'll be just fine and dandling. What I'm gonna do now is let's go ahead and separate these wires and get them run, get them stuck out this hole, get them stuck out that hole. Same thing over there, get them ran around here. And then we can put the headlight stuff on and go to wiring things up. Got all my wires pulled and ran where they go. And you know, I told you I was going to go ahead and wire this up. Well, I've decided not to, and here's why. You know, I'm waiting on my bushings. I told you I ordered them. They'll be here tomorrow. I was going to split them and then just, you know, work them in the hole around the wires, whatever. Well, I got to thinking, I'm trying to avoid any kind of MLS, because MLS states if I do that, one of these wires will work its way through that slit over here on the fender, rub itself raw till it shorts out and burns the car down. I don't want to do that. No, sir. So we're going to wait on the bushings and do them right. What I did do, though, go over here to the motor wires, pulled out the alternator wires, and we're going to run them down through here instead of over here, over here, and over here. There's no need in doing that. So that'll make it, you know, a little bit neater. I think right now what I may try to do is come in here. We'll try the ignition switch, getting it wired up, possibly headlight switch. Then we might go back here to the back and work on these lights. These are simple. I mean, they ain't much to them, except I don't have enough wire. This is it. These wires need to run, you know, for the passenger side over here. They need to split and run over there, down here. I don't have enough wire, so I'll have to add some. That's no big deal. I just didn't want to have to do that. But we may do them after we get these up here done. Let me start on the ignition switch. I got to pull the print, look at it, and probably pull that switch out, ohm it out, make sure I got the right stuff. I'll be back when I get done with it. Just got done ohming this ignition switch out, making sure everything works, because this little fella is pretty old. Everything seems to work all right. I thought I would just show you all the ignition wires and colors. These are basically standard GM colors. Your purple, that goes to the start, that goes out to the solenoid. That's what engages the starter. Your pink is going to be ignition. It goes to the coil. Brown, I believe, is it goes on the ignition. I believe it sends hot to your fuse panel for stuff that's supposed to be on when the switch is on. And then orange, I believe, is accessory. And this red, of course, is power coming in. And it pigtails off of this. I don't know why. We'll just cut that off because I don't need two of them. Let me cut these off, put some ring terminals on them, get them on this switch. All right, I got all the ring terminals on the wires. Now we're fixing to put them on the ignition switch. Oh crap. That and there's gone. I have to find it in a minute. This one here is the battery. Battery goes on the battery. The purple, let's do the purple. That's our starter. That's the center post. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not, but it's coming to flood outside. There it is. I found it. I found it. Yes, there's coming to flood outside. And you know what? I'm very thankful that I got a shop to work in. This is coil. This is well, ignition pot running to the fuse panel. Put both of them on the ignition post. Alright, I need to tape up the end of this one and this one because they're not used, but I don't want to cut them, you know, way back there. So let me get some tape, tape them up. We'll put the switch in there where it goes. It is still coming to flood, but I got the ignition switch done. It was pretty simple. Finally got the headlight switch out. That little fella there didn't want to come loose, but the old coil of oil did the trick finally. Been ohming it out trying to figure out what is what. And a half pull, I believe this is hot coming in. This is parking light. This one is dash and dome. This one is headlight. Of course, this one is dead at half pull. These two are hot. Well, a full pull all the way out, your parking lights go off. Of course, your dash and dome stay on. Headlights come on. This one here, I ain't got a clue what it is. It's connected to the hot coming in through this. There's a set of points right there. I don't know if that's some kind of thermal overload. I ain't got a clue what that is. And what I have deduced as far as this dimmer part up here for the dash lights, it don't dim the dash lights. There's no way it can. The way it's fixed up, it's dimming the dome light. Your dash lights stay bright all the time. I think that's how it works. But the little spring resistor thingamabob, well, it's broke. See how it come out there? So I think I'm gonna see if I can find me a new, different. We might could use like a square body headlight switch. It don't really matter as long as you know how to wire it up. So I will look here in a little bit, see if I can find one of them. Then I come over here and got my turn signal thing out. I bought this several months ago. It's cheap Chinese junk, but it'll do for now. And I've been looking over the wiring diagram on it, and I've got to study these to make them work together. So I'm gonna call it a day right here. Didn't get hardly nothing done. I told y'all fellers, it's gonna take me a while because well, wiring just, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Maybe we'll get a whole lot more done tomorrow. Well, I've been to Ireland this morning. Got my headlight switch. It is a square body headlight switch. I had to borrow this pull handle from Lockjaw because it didn't come with one. So I got to go back to O'Reilly's anyway to get that. And I got to get a different dimmer switch down there because this harness has a plug-in for the dimmer switch. Well, these one here, they're screw terminals, plus they're on the outside of the car. I don't want that. So I'll get me a different dimmer switch. That way we can keep all the wiring inside the car out of the rain and weather and whatnot. I got to make a jumper wire. This is the hot coming in. And then they got another hot that goes here. This one is for headlight and I think tail lights. And then this power here powers front parking lights and instrument panel lights. And well, I got to searching for this instrument panel wire. Couldn't find it. Nowhere. I was like, what in the world? Then I remembered I had another bag of goodies over on the table. Went over there and, well, guess what I found? Instrument panel light wire. Yep. I just got confused. Anyway, I got all that. I have sorted through these wires. I think all those over there are turn signal. And then this here's like fuel gauge, instrument power, wiper, horn, brake light, stuff like that. My eyeballs hurting because I've been looking at these little wires. So I'm gonna take a break we'll come back in a little while. And I'm going to work on this thing very diligently today. I probably won't get done, but we're going to get a lot of the wiring done today. I sure hope so. Trying to wire up the brake light switch right now. Getting these here wires all untangled. We'll cut her off about right there. That looks pretty good. Chompa. Once I get this brake light switch done, I'll walk y'all through everything I've got wired up in the last hour or so. Let us see. I got to have me a connector, spade connector right here. Come on now. Which wire was it? This one? Yeah. See, I get confused very easily. Chompa. Always when you're doing, electrical connectors, pull on them after you crimp them. Make sure they ain't gonna come apart, because sometimes you might not get it crimped very good. All right, we'll put this one on this side here. Then the other side is going to run to my blinker mechanism. I'm trying to get all these wires here done first before I start on the blinkers. Let me get the camera. I'll walk you through what all I got done so far. Here's where we're at, the wiring. Finished up the headlight switch. Got it in there with the exception of dome light. That's that wire right there. The dome light, where did I put it? Here it is, here it is. Here's the dome light right here. Now, the way modern day dome lights work, you run power to it right here. Then you've got another wire that will run back all the way down through here to a door switch here, a door switch there, and to your headlight switch. All three of those switches, any one of them grounds that light and turns it on. This one here, it's from 1940, and that's not how it works. You send power to it, and it is already grounded, and it comes on. It's just an on-off switch. Well, like I said, that's not how these switches work. So what I'm going to have to do, when I put it back up here, I've got to isolate this from this metal so, it doesn't short out. And I even got to isolate the little bitty screws. Let me see if I can find them there. Pretty doggone tiny. That little feller right there, I'll have to isolate it too, some kind of way. I don't really know how I'm going to do it. Then I'll have to solder a wire to this metal part and run it back down through here over to my headlight switch. Because like I said, when you turn the knob, whichever way, I think it's that way, that grounds it and turns the light on. Same thing with the door switch. They are normally closed and they'll run to ground. So you open the door, that switch pops up or out, whatever, runs it to ground, light comes on. I'll do that later. I ain't too worried about that right now. Also, I ran all the light power and ground to my gauges. Then I ran 12 volt power to my volt gauge. That's the only gauge up here that gets actual power for the gauge. Then of course I had to run it to ground too. And you just saw me do the brake light switch. Other side of it comes up here to the blinky blink, which it's over on the table. We'll get to it in a little while. Right now, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more wires right here that go somewhere. I got to get out here and read the labels, strain my eyes some more, and then fix them up where they go. When I get them done, well, I might be back and show you what all I did then. Wait a minute. I forgot to tell you. Nobody in town has a headlight switch puller outer thingamabob. Not AutoZone, not O'Reilly's, Napa, Advance, nobody. Ordered one on Amazon, it'll be here tomorrow. So I figured, well, if they don't have that, I'm not going to town to get the dimmer switch. So I ordered it off of Amazon. It'll be here tomorrow too. So we'll finish up the headlight stuff tomorrow. And like I said, let me get these wires here done. I'll be back in a little bit. Well, I have deduced that I cannot wire any of these up. No, sir. Pink one is fuel gauge. I got to get a fuel gauge. Blue one is wiper motor. Purple is tack. This long black one goes to the compressor. This short black one, I think, is power into the compressor, AC switch. But I can't see a label on it. I may have to get my Dandy, handy dandy assistant over here to look at that, because he's younger, got a little better eyes than I do, so maybe he can see the label on that. So I think let's move on to the turn signal. Let me get it over and get it mounted, and then we'll wire it up. Here's my turn signal apparatus. It's just sort of monstrous. Yep, that's how you turn the flashers off. You pull that on for a flasher, and you hit your signal either way to turn them off. Of course, it mounts with a hose clamp. You know what makes me angry? When I go to put a nut driver or socket or something on here, and this is metric, it makes my blood boil. Anyway, let me get this mounted real quick, and we'll try to get this wired up. Oh, I got my grommets and stuff and wire ties in the mail just a little while ago. So as soon as we get this right here done, we'll go out there and start wiring up the front lights and all that. Come here. Let's see. Put it, I reckon, about right there. Be all right. Well, that ain't tightening up real good. All right, that'll do it right there. Blinker, blinker, flashy, flashy. All right, let me do some more wiring diagram studying. That's my most favorite thing in the world. I wish I did it for a living. I'll be back in a little while. Turn signal apparatus is wired up, with the exception of two wires, a black and a blue. According to the print right here, those two wires go into a flasher, or come out of a flasher. Hot goes into the flasher, and then black and blue come out. Only thing I can assume, one flasher or one wire is for signal flasher, one wire is for hazard flasher. I don't know if I want, they supply you with a flasher. I don't know if I want to use it, because I got two flashers on my, what's that called? Fuse box, whatever that is under the dash with all the fuses in it. I'm gonna take a little break because my brain's starting to fry a little bit. So once I do that, then I'm gonna study this print, see if I can figure out a way to use those flashers. If not, well, I'll use the one that came with it. I'll be back in a little bit. Well, I rested my brain for a little bit. I actually kind of took a little nap. Anyway, when I woke up from that nap, I found both of my flasher wires. One is purple, that's turn flasher. The other one is brown, it's hazard. I don't know which is which on this one. It don't really matter. It's just a flasher. Hooked one to one, one to the other one. We're done with the turn signals. Just got done ordering a tack and a fuel gauge. One of them will be here tomorrow. One of them will be here a couple of days from now. When we get them, we'll mount them and wire them up. But for now, we're done in here. I think I'm gonna come back here on the tail lights, see what I can get done. This shouldn't take too long to do this. The thing about these though, they go to ground, and you see how rusty this car is. Front lights are gonna be the same way. That's gonna be the aggravating thing about getting these lights working. Let me work on a little bit and see what I can get done. I'll be back in a little bit. I was wanting to get this little trim ring thing on my bob off so I can get this lens off so I can get to the bulb. But my screw right here, it ain't wanting to play nice. I'm hoping this impact thing on the bob will knock that loose. Probably just gonna cave this whole back end in. Let's see what happens. No sir, and I am sort of, this is a bunch of Bondo, I'm sort of caving this in. I ain't real sure how I'm gonna get this loose, because it don't want to act right. Oh, there it went right there. Oh, look at here, look at here. All right, let's get this out and see what we got underneath. Got this and got this. Get this here bulb. It looks like it's blown. Well, I don't know, it might not be. They didn't make things very convenient back then, because you can't get on that to turn it. Sure can't. Let me work with this, see if I can get it out. I want it out now. There we go. Oh yeah. Yeah, them terminals are pretty doggone nasty. I'll have to clean them up. I believe that bulb is good though. We might continue using it. Anyway, let me finish wiring this up. Here is the taillight assembly, and as you can see, it's in two pieces. I had both the lights working, but any movement of the wire, either or both of the lights would go out. It's just, well, that little piece in there broke, and it's just old. Plus the socket, you know, it's supposed to be right there. I can put it back in, but it wants to pop back out real easily. So I think I'm gonna get on the interwebs here in a minute, see if I can't find this, or maybe just a socket that'll fit in here more securely. Can't do any wiring on the taillights till I get to that. I'm gonna get two, one for each side. So I think we're gonna call it a day. But we got a little bit done today. We got headlight switch, got the turn signals, got my gauge lights and power going to them, brake light, switch, what else? Is that about it? Anyway, we got some done. Tomorrow, I think we'll come up here and we'll do the front lights. We'll do the motor stuff, then we'll hook a battery to it and test it. If everything works, then we'll go to tying wires up and making it pretty. I may get some wire loom for this run here and possibly right over to here. I don't know, we'll just have to see. Anyway, we'll hopefully finish it up tomorrow. Well, I run around town today looking for a way to fix my tail lights. And this is what I found. It's called a tail light pigtail repair, whatever. It's basically just the guts that go in a tail light socket. I already got that one changed out. That's it right there. I think it's gonna work. I found one at Advance, and I had to go to Napa for the other one. After I did that, I had to go help my handy dandy assistant put up a garage door. So we ain't gonna work but a couple hours today, or actually tonight. I think what I'm gonna do right now is get over and see if I can't weld this to this and make it stay. Then we'll get over here, we'll start wiring up tail lights, and we might get up here and fool with the headlights. Well, I decided not to weld that on there. That socket's got a little lip on it right in there. Well, it took me a hammer and a punch to put it in the vise right here. And I bent that lip over on either side. Y'all can probably see it right there. I think that'll do just fine and dandly. Let's get back here and wire this up. All right, I got it put in. Now I got to figure out which is tail light, which is stop and turn. I got me a little battery hooked up here. This one here, I'm gonna say that's tail. Let's see what this does. Oh yeah, it's a lot brighter. So this one right here, I'm gonna stick it right here. That is my stop. And this other one is tail light. Now that I know that information, let me wire it up. Tail lights are complete. I'm up here now, I got all the wires pulled back out of these holes. Getting these grommets, putting these holes so we don't cut our wire and short it out and burn the car down. Let me find one for this one right here. Will this one here work? I think it will. Look here. No, wait a minute, that's the wrong hole, I think. Where's my little pieces? What did I do with them? Yeah, it goes in this back hole right here. All right. Well, let me run these wires back in here firstly before I forget where they go. Then I'll go over here on the other side, put all them grommets in. Then we'll proceed to wire up the lights on the front of this car. Got the grommets in, got the wires re-ran. Put my headlight. Would this be a bucket? Headlight bucket? I feel like it's not. I think that other part may be the bucket. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. The thing that holds the headlight to the car. How about that? Putting them on. As soon as I get them on, we'll go to wiring all the headlights, these things. Then I might just go ahead and not worry about the engine stuff. Just hook this wire. That goes to the solenoid, which makes power come into the fuse panel. Hook that up, hook a battery to it. Check everything out. We'll worry about the motor stuff later. there's one. All right, got one headlight on. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, she's good and secure. Let's see if we can get the turning signal thing on. I wonder where they're at. Where are they? Where are them son of a guns at? Got my bolts welded to those little brackets that these go on. Letting them cool. Whilst I'm doing that, I'm trying to clean up these sockets. I'm telling you, this is going to be a nightmare trying to get this to go through ground on all this old rusty stuff. Yeah, ain't going to be fun. No, sir. That don't look too bad, but it's got that little prong right there that has to touch on the side here. And then this has to go through here, down through here, through to the fender, and then go back to the battery some kind of way. You see how rusty that stuff is? It ain't never gonna work. I promise you it ain't. I'm trying to clean and sand everything I can. Maybe by some type of miracle, we might can make these lights work. Let me get all this cleaned up and then I'll go to wiring stuff up. Here's the deal. I'm not fighting this rust. No, sir, it sure ain't. I've been fooling with it for 30 minutes. Can't get it to come through this housing. I can get it, you know, through here, but it won't come through here. I just ain't fooling with it. What I'm gonna do, I'm going in the house because it's very late. I'm gonna see if I can find me a 2-wire socket for this bulb here that'll fit this housing. If I find them, I'm gonna order them. Hopefully I can get them here by Monday and we'll finish this up. If not, I can solder a wire right there and tie all these lights together to one ground, run my ground back down through here to the firewall, because my battery is going to be back here somewhere, and I'm going to have a good ground to the body. I'm going to have a good ground to the frame. Up here, we're going to have grounds to the frame and the motor and the body and everywhere I can put one. And I'm not going to deal with this this rusty crap, you know, for the lights, and they don't work half the time. No, sir, I ain't dealing with it. Let me go in there and see if I can find that socket, and I will see y'all Monday. Hopefully, we'll get this finished up. Here's what I decided to do with these little fellers right here. I can find them, but I'm not sure they're going to fit this hole. So what I've decided to do is drop that on the floor, and I'm going to pick it up. And what I'm going to do is, you know, I can get continuity from the switch to here. What I'm going to do, take me a little self-tapper screw, give me a wire with a ring terminal on it. We're going to screw it right there. And then that wire will be hooked to that light, that light, that light. Run to the firewall, ground it. This should take care of that. I think what I might do, one ground for these, one ground for these, because if I lose that one ground, I have no lights. If I lose this ground, I still got this light. If I lose that ground, I still got that light. The chances of losing both of them is slim. It's still there. And, you know, MLS visits us daily, but I think that'll be all right. So let me get some wire, ring terminals and all that, and get this fixed up, get this front end done. Well, I got an issue with this here parking light turn signal housing assembly. This piece is supposed to be riveted to this. You see the little rivets right there. Well, they broke loose. And I put this in here and tighten down on that bolt. And this here still just flippity flappity flops everywhere. So let me drill these holes out and put some new rivets in it. I already got this one on. It's pretty secure. No, it ain't either. Oh, look at there. I'll take that back off. We'll rivet that thing too. Oh yeah. We got one anyway. Let me see if I can get this other one. I got to work on it just a little bit, get it mashed down a little flatter. There's one. Let me go get that other one done, and we'll get this here finished up. Front lights are done. Remember me tell you I was going to run a ground to my firewall. Well, there's no need. I got a ground wire here and a ground wire here, and they run down to the frame here with a self-tapper and a ring terminal. I think that'll be just fine and dandly. There's no need in running it all the way to the firewall, because I want to have a ground from the motor to the frame, motor to the body, possibly body to frame, probably. And then back there where the battery's going to go, it's going to be grounded from the battery to the body, battery to the frame. It's going to be a well-grounded vehicle because it is so rusty. So hopefully that'll take care of all that issue. You might be wondering, why are your headlights hanging down like that? Well, I didn't realize till a few days ago that I didn't have any of the adjusters or springs for the buckets, the headlight buckets. Well, I got to looking online, and I found a website that I think has what I need, but I'm not sure. I emailed them, and for whatever reason, they're not going to answer me back. Let me tell you all this. If you have a website, that website has an email address, and you don't answer emails, please take the email address down. It's ignorant to have that up and not answer emails. If anybody knows me, that's the quickest way to anger me is to ignore me. So just don't do that. There's another company that deals with these old cars. I refuse to give them any of my money because I've emailed them numerous times about different parts that I need, making sure it's what I need. They don't answer emails. So fooey on them. I'll find some adjusters that will work. Matter of fact, tonight I'll order something. Even if it's wrong, then we'll know that don't work and we'll get some. Anyway, I think now that I got the lights done, I'm gonna do the alternator. We'll hook up ignition, and I got a tack. Oh yeah, let me show you all that. I got a tack. I bought one just like this to put in the four-wheel drive because the one I had in there goes on the run stand. Put that back over there. Anyway, I got a tack today. Here's the dimmer switch. Here's my headlight knob. And in this box is the tire simulator. We might hook that up in a little while and see what kind of tire we can put on the front and back. But for now, I'm going to do the alternator, ignition, tack, and all the stuff down here on the solenoid. Then we may hook a battery up and make sure everything works. I'm going to not right now run the battery wire because I don't know where I'm putting the battery just yet. And I don't even have a battery holder. I got to build one. So we'll wait on it. I'm anxious to see these lights light up is what I'm getting at. So let me do this. I'll be back. Trying to wire up the alternator right here. And your red wire it says alt power on the wire. Well, it's going to go here. This is what's putting power out, going to your battery to charge it up. And then you got this plug that plugs in over here. You got terminal 1, terminal 2, and then this battery. And we got a ground down here we got to hook up to. Well, this plug, it came with this ring terminal. I put that pink one on, but it came with this ring terminal. And if you just stuck this in here and didn't know how to wire up an alternator or wasn't paying attention, well, I can't get it to go in firstly. Here it is. All right. Once you get it plugged in, you would think, well, I know one of these can go right here, so it must be that because it's got the ring terminal. Oh, no, that's wrong. That's terminal 1. Terminal 1 gets the white wire, which is the exciter, which is a switched 12 volt. If you hook this up like they have it wired up here or terminaled up, you'd put that there. You're going to run your battery down because you don't want to send 12 volts to this constantly. So, yeah. Like I said before, this harness is not the best I've ever seen. I'm going to see if I can't swap these two wires instead of having to cut these. Either way, that ring terminal needs to be over here on terminal 2. And it'll hook here. So let me see if I can get this swapped and I'll get this wired up and then we will continue on. Alternator is wired up. Like I said, that's power coming out to the battery. Then you jump it from here to terminal 2. Terminal 1 is the exciter wire, which is a switch 12 volt. You can put your light in that. You know, I don't have a light, I got a gauge. But if you got an idiot light, generator, alternator, charge, whatever, you can put that on that right there. When you lose voltage, your light will come on. Also, I'll put me a ground from the firewall right there over here to the back bolt on the intake. I think that's got that. I got to put another ground from the chassis to the motor. I'll do that in a little bit. Right now, I'm gonna mount my coil. I got a new coil, and you know what? I remembered after I bought that coil that one of y'all sent me a coil. It's over in the box. I'll have to remember that for the next one. I also got a ballast resistor. You know, Chevrolet, on the points stuff, they use a resistor wire. Well, this ain't a Chevrolet wiring harness. It don't have resistor wire, so I had to use a ballast resistor. Put it in line to the 12 volts here. Got me a coil holder thing. I guess I'm gonna mount that coil probably right here. That's about the best place to mount it. And I'll put the ballast resistor right there next to it. So let me get that done, and then we'll go wiring it up in the distributor and tack, and I don't know what else. We're almost done though. I think we'll put the curl approximately right here, and we might put that right there. What do y'all think about that? If I don't put that there, I guess I can put it over here maybe. But yeah, I think we'll put that right there. All right, let me get me a hole. You know what I hate though? I filled in all these holes, and now I'm putting new ones in. I don't like that. And then we're gonna put this resistor. Might as well do it right there. Sure, why not? Well, just broke that. That's good. Yep. Brand spankingly new and broke it. The important parts didn't break, so we're going to use it for now. I'll have to get another. I'll tell you what. Let me get all this here wired up. I'll be back. All the motor stuff's wired up. And of course y'all saw me break my ballast resistor. I dropped it down there and it shattered. I'll have to get another one of them. I ain't leaving that. Got me a ground from the motor to the frame. That's kind of small. I might have to put a bigger one there. We'll just see how it does. I think about all I got left. I got a hook tack up, and you know I got my dimmer switch for the headlights. Got to wire that up. Got to run a wire from it up to the headlight switch, and I got my little knob. Well, I showed y'all that. Plus, you know, the little nut that holds the switch to the dash. I got it just a little while ago. 30 minutes. Let me get this done, and we'll put power to this thing. See what it does. Well, I do believe the old Forte is wired up, with the exception of I forgot to get a gas gauge. I'll order one of them tonight. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the dome light. But other than that, I do believe everything is wired up. There ain't one thing left to do, fellas. Give it the old try. What I'm going to do, I'm going to touch this to here. If we got any sparks, well, we got us some kind of a drain. And we're going to have to back up and go to investigating. If we ain't got no spark, well, I'm going to put that on there, leave it on there, go in there and turn the key on. And we'll go to seeing if we got any problems with lights or anything else. Anyway, here we go. Do we have any spark? Well, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. We got an issue. Watch my tail light in there. See it coming on? What the devil? It's only that one. Why is that coming on? Well, we got an issue right off the bat. Let me do a little investigating and see what I got going on. I do believe I got that problem solved. Put that on there right there. You don't see no light back there no more. Brake light switch was not adjusted right. So that took care of that. But our brake light over here was not working, so we're going to have to look at that. I don't see any spark now, so I think we're good. I'm going to put that on there. Let's go in the car, turn the key on, and cross our fingers. Let me cross them really, really good that we don't blow no fuses when I turn this key on. Oh yeah, let's get in here, see what we got. Well, I see another issue right off the bat. This light here is on the turn signal apparatus, and I don't know why. That's interesting there. Do flashers work? No. So we got two issues. Maybe the flashers don't work unless the key's on. Let's try. All right, y'all listen for fuses to pop when I turn the key on. Didn't hear nothing. That's good. Now let's see if the flashers are gonna work. I hear it. Hear the flasher working. Nothing's blinking here, but let's go outside. See if we got any flashers. Oh yeah, look here. Flashy, flashy. Let's go up front. See what we got up here. Got one over here. Do not have one over here. Well, let's just stop and investigate this and see what we got going on. We now have flashy flash on the driver's side. It was a bad bulb. A brand new bulb. I don't understand it. Let's turn them off. We'll check the blinkers. We got a blinky blink up front. And what we got in the back. We got a blinky blink in the back. Let's check the passenger side now. Flip her over. I gotta figure out why this indicator light is on all the time. That ain't good. Well, something's wrong up here because that was flashing. It should not be. That one is, and it should be. What about the back? Is it flashing? Blinking? Oh yeah, we got blinky blink back here. Well, let me put it back on the driver's side. See if we're still blinking both of them up front. I didn't notice it, but maybe I just missed it. Oh yeah, they're still, no matter what side I put the signals on, these both blink. So, let me write this stuff down because I'm just gonna run through everything real quick and then I'll have to work on what is wrong. So, let me get my notepad. I'll write that down and we'll check brake lights next. Got my sludge hammer resting on my brake pedal there. Y'all look here. We got us some brake lights. Now, let's see what the signals do with the brake lights on. Oh yeah, look at there. She's a blinking. Oh yeah. Let me check the other one now. Oh yeah, she's a blinking. What we're gonna check next? Turn the headlights on. Let's see what we got. Well, let me turn the key off first. Then we'll turn the headlights on. I don't see anything. I really don't. Oh yeah, okay. I forgot they were aiming at the ground. I don't know if this is low or high beam. Let's hit the switch. See if they're still on. Oh yeah, they're still on. Tell you what, let me see if I can affix them in there some kind of way, because I'd like to see them actually change from high to low. I just got them set up on the fender going backwards. I'm gonna hit the dimmer. Let's see if it change. Oh yeah, look at there. That's awesome. All right, let me turn them to parking light. See if we got front. Yes sir, we got front parking lights. Let's go to the back. That looks like brake lights right there. Oh, the brakes are on, you dummy. Let me take this sludge hammer off the brake pedal. See if we got, oh yeah, we got regular old tail lights. Now, just for making sure, turn the key on, check the blinkers with the parking lights on. Here's left, and we do not have blinker with the parking lights on. Well, this is interesting. What about the other side? They do not blink. The light comes on, but they don't flash when you got the parking lights on. Let's turn the parking lights off, see if it starts blinking again. I hear the flasher. Yeah, so let me write that down. All right, let's turn the headlights on. And do we have gauge lights? No, sir. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Okay, I didn't have the switch turned on. The dim, it don't work real good. It's either on or off, basically. I ain't real worried about that, but that is kind of odd. It dims a little bit. It'll be all right. There's park. There's headlights on. Well, let's just see, since we're having trouble with the blinkers. Turn them on, make sure these don't flash too. No, sir. Now wait a minute. when the headlights are on, let's pull it all the way out. I got blinkers here to hear the flasher blinking. Let's go out here to see. This is with the headlights on, and I got the passenger side blinker on. Okay, that in there works. What about the front? Yes, sir. But they're both blinking, you know, like it was doing before. Let me check driver's side. Yes, sir, that there's flashing. And I'm sure both of them up front will be flashing. So, yep. I know where's flashing too. So let me write that down. That only, I don't have blinkers only when parking lights are on. There's parking lights. The flasher quit. Turn them off, the flasher starts again. So let me write that down too. I didn't pay any attention to this tack. Did that light come on? Yeah, it's real dim, but it's on. Yeah, it works. All right, I got my dome wire stripped right here. I just want to make sure we got power coming up here. So let me hook it up to this light, and I ground this light, and it should come on. Give me just a second. Power is hooked to the light. I got my headlight switch over there turned for the dome light to be on, and it works. All right, let me turn this switch off. Well, it still works. So, oh, wait a minute. I forgot. That grounds it. It has nothing to do with turning power on and off. Turns the ground on and off. Okay. So this should work all the time. Yep. Okay. Well, no, at least I got power on this white wire. What do I need to check next? Oh, let's, does this volt gauge work when I turn it on? It does not work when I turn it on, so that's good. Let me write that one down. All right, let's see if the starter works. Hopefully it does. Oh yeah, it's trying to start, I believe. So it tells me we got spark. Tell you what, let me hook the fuel up, and I'll put a little bit down the carburetor. We'll see if the thing will fire up. Let's give her a little crank of the old gasolines, see if she'll fire up. Give her another crank. But it did just quit on me for some reason, and I don't know why, unless I'm out of gas. Let's check this gas can real quick. No, it's got plenty in it. I don't know. Been fooling with the idle a little bit and the timing. Y'all saw it, pretty much flaming out the carburetors. Well, I advanced the timing quite a bit and it quit doing that. I don't have a timing tab. We're gonna have to make a timing tab for this thing and find top dead center. Water's doing the squeaking and squalling. Well, I got a hose up here leaking. That may be what I hear. Of course, this here's still leaking. Yeah, let me see if I can't tighten that up. I thought that was pretty tight. Anyway, let me fire it back up. Got the hose tightened up. And I'll tell you what, let's see if we can't fix this water leak right now because it's dripping down underneath the car. One of y'all had mentioned, it's probably the threads on these bolts. And I completely forgot that, we drilled them out and re-tapped them. And I'm pretty sure the holes went all the way through to the water jacket. So, yeah, that's probably where it's leaking. Let me pull the bolts out one at a time, put some RT&V on them, and see if that don't stop the leaking. And then we'll fire it back up and see if it'll run again. Well, I loosened one of the bolts here on the thermostat housing. I'm going to put me a new bolt in with RT&V on the threads. Well, when I loosened it, water sprayed everywhere. So I tightened it back up real quick. It's done got warmed up enough where it's got pressure on the cooling system. So we'll have to wait on that. I think what I'm going to do is go in the house and eat me a little supper. I'm going to do a little thinking on why these lights ain't doing right. When we've got the parking lights on, we don't have any blinkers at all. And these two here always blink no matter which side you're supposed to be blinking. You probably fix one of those issues and you'll fix the other one, I'd say. Anyway, I'm going to go in the house and eat me a little supper. I'll be back in a little while. We'll get it figured out. My belly's full. I ain't worth killing now. Oh, sir. Eating makes me lazy. I ain't going to lie to you. But I do think I figured out what's going on with these front turn signals, parking lights. This harness has a parking light wire and a turn signal wire. Well, it has a left turn signal, then it has a right turn signal, but it only has one parking light. Comes here and then it jumpers from here to that one. That's the problem because these are single filament bulbs, and to have park and turn, gotta have a 2 filament bulb. Basically, when this blinker's on, it's just jumping over to this one. When that blinker's on, it's jumping over to this one through the parking light wire. So I got to find the parking light wire in here and cut it. And I'll have turn signals. And then later on, I'll find a 2 filament socket. And we'll change them out. And we'll have parking lights and turn signals. Just like, in the back. You got a dual filament bulb back there. So let me find this wire. I'll cut it. And we'll see if that fixes that. This brown wire right here is the one I need to cut. Now, when I cut it like this, I won't have a parking light over here anymore, but my blinkers should work right now. So let's turn the blinkers on, see what happens. Right blinky blink is on. There it is. Let's turn the left one on, see what it does. Now we only have a left blinky blink on. So that's got that fixed. And watch, I'll turn the parking lights on, and we won't have a passenger side parking light. Ta-da! All right, got that solved. What was the next problem? Let me read it. See. Blinkers don't blink just solid when park lights are on, but not when headlights are on. Well, I don't think that's got anything to do with that, but let's just see. Well, I was wrong. Parking lights are on. We got a blinky blink now. Let me check the back, make sure it's blinking. I'm sure it is, but let's just make sure. Oh yeah, it's blinky blinking. Let's turn the left ones on. Make sure they blinky blink. No. Okay, it's because I still got parking lights hooked here. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to cut this brown wire, probably do it under the dash. And that'll do away with my parking lights up front, and the blinker should work. Let me do that. I'll be right back. All right, I did not cut that wire. It comes off the headlight switch. Well, I just unplugged it, so we cut that wire out there for nothing. Oh well. Let's pull the parking lights on. Turn the left blinky blink on, and we now have a left blinky blink up here. Got that problem solved. Let me turn these lights off. And then we'll look at what the next problem was. Volt gauge doesn't work. That's a lie. Because when it was running, the volt gauge was working. When it's not running, it don't. I don't really understand that because the wire that's going to the volt gauge, it says, what does it say? Gauge power. It's a switch 12 volts. So that gauge should work when I turn the key on. Well, I'm going to turn the key on. You see it does not work. Let me put my meter on that and see what kind of power we're getting with just the key on. Because that don't seem right. Well, I just put my meter on the wire going to this gauge. It says gauge power. And apparently it is not a switch to 12 volts. It doesn't read any voltage at all. So I don't understand that. But it's the same wire that I'm powering my tack with, and the tack works just fine. Then I got another wire that's going to power the gas gauge when I get it hooked up. So I don't really understand that. That don't make any sense. I'll have to study on that, because this, when you turn the key on, it should jump up to, 12 and a half volts. It ain't moving until it's running. I don't understand that. I'll figure that out eventually. The only other issue we got, why is this light on all the time? Don't understand that. And I don't have a schematic on this. It's just, this wire goes here, this wire goes here. I don't know how it's wired up internally. So I might have to contact the company of this and see what they say, because I can't figure that out. And I don't want it on all the time. And it should, I would think, it should blink, but it don't. It's just solid on all the time, no matter what. With the key off, on, blinker off, on, hazards on, off, it don't matter. It burns all the time. Got to figure that out. The motor's still warm, so fixing this leak right here, it's going to have to wait till tomorrow after it cools off. This thing too, I didn't run it maybe 5 minutes, and it smoked in here so bad that my head started pounding. I got sick in my stomach from the fumes. It's just so bad. And it's not just oil. There's gas mixed in there too. It's possible the power valve is hanging open on this one, or if you remember, we left the power valves in these, but we took those rods out. Maybe something going on with that. I don't know. We gotta look at that, because there's no way I'll be able to drive it with those fumes. They're going to roll in the car, because there's so many holes in the floorboard. We gotta figure out what's going on with that. Not this week though, because I'm about out of time. I'm gonna fire it up, just let it run for a few minutes, see how it does, and then we're gonna have to call it a week on this video. I can't idle it down any more than that, or it won't idle, it just dies. Bolt gauge is working too, but it only works when it's running. I don't understand that, sure don't. Also, if you hear, she's got a little bit of a lope to her now. Remember when we broke it in, I said it didn't have much of a lope. Well, it's probably because I had the timing way off. We're gonna have to get a timing tab and get the timing set like it's supposed to be. And it might have even more of a lope, because you can tune the lope out of one. Anyway, she sounds pretty good right now. Yeah, that's not bad at all. We definitely got to do some carb work. This middle one, it's just barely got a pump shot. Watch this one right here. It's so strong, it'll shoot out of the carburetor. We're gonna have to do some carb work to it for sure. It don't sound too bad back here behind it either. Also, I told you I couldn't idle it any further down than what I got it. It's about 900. Well, it could be due to it running rich, and that won't let me idle it down. We gotta look at them carburetors. There's something going on with them. Well, it's time to mark something off the board. And we didn't get but one thing done this week, but it was a big thing, so I'm happy to mark that out. Wire and harness is done, with the exception of a couple of little odd end things. And I got to go to tying all the stuff up, but like I said, I'm out of time for this week. Next time y'all see it, I'll probably have all the wiring harness all prettied up. Yep. But I am very pleased that we didn't have no more trouble than we did. Actually, there was just one problem, and it was causing 2 issues, and that's pretty much it. I am very, 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 very glad to be done with the wiring. I hate it. Y'all just don't understand it. I had to force myself to get out here every day and get this done. Now that I'm done with it, you know, it's a sense of accomplishment, but I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Next week, we've got to look at the carb stuff. There's something going on. I'd like to get the fuel system complete, get the wires tied up. We'll get the battery mounted, get the battery wire run up here to the starter. Also, there might be a surprise next week. I ain't going to tell you what it is. You'll just have to wait. But I think you'll be happy. I know I'm going to be happy. Oh, yeah. Anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, hit that like, comment, subscribe. Share it with your friends. And until next time, go do something. Blur, blur.